I'm Nev Van Pell, and thank you for joining us. The City Clerk's office will be presenting City Council with some conflict resolution training opportunities on Monday night, aimed at Councillor Rajni Agarwal. It comes following the latest Integrity Commissioner's report into Agarwal's conduct, this time as a Fort William BIA board member. The Integrity Commissioner had recommended that Agarwal be removed from the board for being rude and abrasive. Council opted against punishment last month, instead voting for the training opportunities. The City Clerk's report recommends participation from Agarwal be mandatory. Any costs for the training will be covered by the City Manager's office and its existing budget. Council will discuss the matter at tomorrow night's meeting. After nearly a decade of negotiations, the City of Thunder Bay is ready to take over control of the commercial fishing docks at the mouth of the Current River. The Federal Department of Fisheries and Oceans initially approached the city in 2016. City Parks Manager Corey Halverson says the transfer agreement will come to City Council for approval on Monday night.
Once we bring the report, we would wait for the ratification, obviously, to occur, and in parallel, we can start finalizing contracts with the fishers and working with the DFO.
The docks are used by a handful of commercial fishing boats, which have not had to pay any user fees over the past few years. Halverson says once the transfer is complete, the city will begin charging modest fees. Similar to other harbors, the feds recently spent $800,000 to rebuild the 4 concrete docks in preparation for the transfer. Halverson says they should be in good condition for another 25 to 30 years. If the city did not agree to take them over, the docks could have been closed permanently.
We're supporting the local commercial fishers. That's the primary objective, is to not have a loss of that type of supporting infrastructure for them to operate through. So in that way, the city overall benefits from that commercial activity continuing. And we're able to sort of absorb the work related to operating that facility within our existing capacity. So it was a fairly good fit with the other marina operations that we do look after already.
The city also owns Lorne Allard Fisherman's Park, located just above the docks. Halverson says controlling both assets could provide some synergies for the city. 2 North Shore First Nations are criticizing the Ford government for registering mining claims on territory that is subject to ongoing land claims and in areas of high cultural value. The chiefs of the communities, formerly known as Pick River and Pick Mobert, say the province is damaging relationships and causing uncertainty for the mining industry. Lee Noonan has more.
Neighboring First Nations, Beektigang Nishnabeg and Nedamazagамig Nishnabeg, are taking it upon themselves to tell the mining industry what areas of their territory are and are not open for development. Nedamazagамig Chief Louis Kisawa and Beektigang Chief Duncan Mishano both say the province has no jurisdiction to approve mining exploration on their lands.
Colonialism is alive and well today. It's a colonial act, and it's oppressing our voice.
Our assertion is that this is unceded territory and that we own all those resources that are out there. And until such a time as that we may, and I'd say may, sign a treaty, those resources are ours.
Both leaders say their communities are generally open to resource development in their territory if it's done sustainably and in partnership with the First Nation, but they've identified some areas of high cultural value that are completely off limits. They say the province has allowed thousands of claims within these no-go areas.
There are certain areas that will never be mining going on. There's ceremonial sites, there's sites that we harvest, whether it's medicine or food, those types of things that we need to sustain ourselves. That's a part of who we are as a people.
Since 2020, the ministry has kept a notice of caution on the region, advising mining companies that the area is subject to ongoing land claim litigation. But the First Nations say the province is giving companies false hope and wasting their resources by continuing to register claims. They want all claims in the no-go areas cancelled.
We don't want any mining basically within those culturally sensitive areas, period. The province is making these mining companies believe that, at someday if they come up with an ore body that they'll have a mine there. They won't. We won't allow that to happen.
Both chiefs say the current government's handling of the mining file has strained relationships between the province and First Nations and caused uncertainty for mining companies. They aim to provide that clarity themselves by publishing clear restrictions on mining exploration. Lee Noonan, TBT News.
First Nations people traveling to Thunder Bay to access health care can now get a ride from the Sioux Lookout First Nations Health Authority. This past week, SLIFNA launched a medical transportation program here in the city. The new service offers transportation to and from medical appointments, hotels, or any airport for any patients traveling under Indigenous Services Canada's non-insured health benefits, except those staying at Wekadong Lodge. The new service fills a gap left as Wekadong has cut back their services, according to SLIFNA CAO Monica Himian.
Thunder Bay sees about 200 to 300 on average a night clients coming in for medical appointments. So outside of Wekwadon Lodge, this support was needed.
Before we even started today, my department at the hostel in Sioux Lookout, the dispatch team, they've already been getting phone calls from clients here in Thunder Bay. So, and I know there's a lot of people that are excited. So I've had some positive feedback from staff and also clients.
SLIFNA has already hired 25 new local staff, drivers, and dispatchers to operate the Thunder Bay service, and Goodman says that's just the beginning. The organization has plans to expand and offer more supports for Indigenous patients here. The Buskers Festival is returning to the Bay and Algoma area this summer and will be bigger than ever. It's the event's 9th installment with plans to expand the festival area this time around. For the second straight year, TD will be sponsoring the event. This festival will feature 2 world-renowned buskers, including comedian and juggler Sam Malcolm and fire breather Egaman Utsin. The heart of the festival will of course be the local performers, artisans, and businesses in attendance. Festival director Yura Lubak says that's what draws families back year after year.
Our mission statement of really just focusing on highlighting the Bay and Algoma neighborhood. I love Thunder Bay, and I like to see people happy, and I love the kids coming out and smiling, seeing stuff they really haven't seen before, creating a big city vibe in a small town, free family fun.
I've done a lot of traveling and I've seen a lot of buskers, but the Busker Festival we have here in Thunder Bay is world class. One of the best events of the summer that really brings out family, connecting them with the arts, and what a great way to visit the Bay and Algoma Business District. We had no choice but to be a part of it. Anything where it brings family together.
This year's Buskers Festival will be taking place on July 27th and 28th. The CLE grounds were packed over this weekend, with hundreds of residents checking out everything the Spring Home and Garden Show had to offer. The annual event featured around 150 exhibitors, with a main focus on home and backyard renovation ideas. Jessica Clement reports.
Over 5,000 people came out to the CLE grounds over the weekend to get a head start on their backyard and home renovation projects. The annual CLE Spring Home and Garden Show saw around 150 exhibitors and featured a little something for everyone.
All these people with the smaller arts and crafts are in this room. A lot of it is outside. There's pools, there's a lot to do with septic things. There's a whole home display over in the Heritage Building. There's a large garden display over there as well. So most of it is people that do outside work all through the summer.
Event chair Judy Anderson notes they started the annual event 26 years ago as there was a need for it in the community. She says she's happy it's still going strong.
Right after this, I'm going to be getting phone calls saying, put me down for next year and coming back. A lot of people have told us this is all the advertising they do for a whole year. And that's all they need. They get all their contacts from this show, and away they go until next year.
With so much online shopping taking place in the modern day, a lot of companies don't get the chance to meet face-to-face with potential customers. Dave Radford, general manager of the Power Center, says the show allows local companies to break those barriers.
It's great for us because we get to talk to these customers, let them know that what we have available, and the ability to come to the Power Center as an example. A lot of people didn't realize we sell barbecues, so now they can come and get a barbecue from us, and we assemble them for them, so we make it real easy for them.
Dave Haywood, general manager of Lockstone, had similar sentiments, saying the show is important for both companies and attendees.
People are either updating their existing projects, doing new projects. They're looking to get ideas and to get some expert advice on what they're going to do with their home. It's a great jumpstart to your season. I mean, not only with us, people getting ideas, coming back to our showroom to follow up on their ideas, but also all the contractors here getting the leads to go do quotes for people.
Jessica Clement, TBT News.
The beautiful spring weather today provided the perfect water skiing conditions. That is for Loch Lomond's annual Slush Cup. Despite the sun shining all afternoon, many skiers had a tough time staying dry. Hundreds of people from the community strapped on their skis for one last time this season to compete in this year's Slush Cup. Participants were having a blast flying down the hill and splashing into the big pond of water. President of Loch Lomond Ski Area, Jason Gary, spoke about how important the recent snowfall was for pulling off this event.
The last couple of weeks has been such a great bonus for us. We were slated to close actually, I guess 3 weeks ago at this point, but then we got that unexpected snowfall, which actually turned into probably the best 2 weekends we've had this year. Not just from ridership standpoint, but also just from the conditions, because all that extra snow that came down was really fun, and it was a great way, from a kind of a slow year and disappointing to have such little snow through the year. It's a great way to end the season, right, with a good vibe for the summer and then coming into next fall.
Following today's Slush Cup, Loch Lomond Ski Area is officially closed until next season. We're now joined by sports anchor Josh Morano. And Josh, the North Stars off to a bit of tough start in round 2.
Yes, they lost 7-4 on Saturday, putting them at 0-2 in their series against the Sulico Bombers. But the Cam River Fighting Walleye getting started earlier today, and we'll have those highlights when we come back.
Welcome back, and Josh, the Walleye back in action for round 2.
The Walleye are back in action at Norwest Arena as the Walleye, to no surprise, are perfect as they enter their second round bout against the Red Lake Miners. After finishing the series up on the road against the Kenora Islanders in the first round, the team welcomed in the Miners to Norwest Arena earlier today, where they look to continue their postseason success. First period, scoreless game, but Walleye on the power play. Nicholas Fagnilli at the top of the circle fires a perfect shot pass onto the stick of Ryan DuPont. His third of the postseason puts the Fish out front 1-0. Over to the second now, and Walleye looking to blow the Miners out of the water at the pond. Ryan Doucette allowed to walk right in with this one. His shot is stopped, but Carter Nalen is loose. He puts it home midway through the second, and the Fish keep on scoring. It's 2-0. Just a few minutes later, this line again. The goal scorer, Carter Nalen, allowed to walk right into the zone, passing it over to Doucette, who beats Ethan Neach up high, pops the bottle off the net for a beauty, and gives the Walleye the 3-0 lead, heading into the third and final frame. 4-0 Fish now, and with just over a minute to go in the contest, Matt Scamble in front of Neach, Carter Podubny gets it in behind the net and banks it off the goaltender and in. His third of the playoffs caps off the night. The Walleye take Game 1 5-0, shutout for Ashton Sadowskis, and the Fish, yet to trail in a single game in the playoffs, dominance. They're back in action for Game 2 Monday night. Staying local, it was the finals of the 2024 Northern Ontario Mixed Provincial Curling Playdowns at Kekabeka Falls Curling Club today, with the winner going on to represent Team Northern Ontario at the Canadian Mixed Curling Championships next November. The final two teams facing off for the chance at championship glory. Undefeated team Corey Carr of the Port Arthur Curling Club taking on the top-seeded Wakefield Lube Monkeys, led by Dylan Johnston of the Fort William Curling Club. Picking up in the fifth end, Carr leading 4-1, but Johnston with hammer on final stone. Multiple rocks on the button, but Johnston's throw hard enough to clear out all the Carr stones, tacking on 3 points and tying this one up. To the sixth, Carr with hammer and an empty house to shoot at, and all he has to do is slide it right in. Carr and company jumping out to a 2-point lead. Heading into the seventh, it's 6-4. Johnston now with hammer, and another easy shot here for the skip. Much like Carr, he's dealing with a relatively empty house and no guard, needing to knock out the lone Carr rock, and he does it with ease. This one going the distance to the eighth and final end, all tied up at 6. In the eighth, Carr with hammer on final stone, and after a miscue the shot before by Carr, he's left with an incredibly difficult situation with 2 Johnston rocks covered by a guard. Carr going for it nonetheless, trying to get something out of nothing, but unfortunately nothing is the outcome. Team Johnston, the 1 seed, stealing 2 points in the final end and grabbing the win. Handshakes coming out after a stellar, nail-biting performance. The final score, 8-6.
Yeah, it feels great. We struggled the first couple ends. I missed a few shots, but we battled back and never gave up. Yeah, kind of a do-or-die situation. Just put the rocks in the right spots and hope for a miss, and we got one and made the last one.
Heart was definitely racing. Dylan made some amazing shots in the couple last ends there to really keep us in it. It was a bit of a grind. You know, we were ranked first going into it and didn't have the results we wanted first couple games, but we grinded back that seaside, and it really paid off. I think having that much more ice time, we knew how to manage the rocks better.
While they won't have much ice time ahead of time, Team Johnston will represent Team Northern Ontario next November at the Canadian Mixed Curling Championship in St. Catharines. Sticking with curling, today saw the finals of the World Men's Curling Championship, with Team Canada looking to win their first world title since 2017. Team Canada led by skip Brad Goujiu in his 5th finals appearance, taking on 6-time world champ Nicholas Edin and Team Sweden. Picking up in the 10th and final end after Goujiu tied things up in the 9th, Canada without hammer, facing one with Goujiu's last, needing to get shot stone for a chance, and he makes the tap. An incredible shot has Canada sitting 3, but still Eden a chance to win it.
Canada has done all they can. They've come back with 2 in 9 to tie. And now, is this going to be a 7th world title for Nicholas Edin? Sundgren left. Vrano right. All the Canadians can do now is just watch and wait. He needs full 4. This has got a hook for him, and hook a lot. He's got to hook a lot. A little bit more. There's Nicholas to drag it back far enough. Oh, it's going to settle down. And they've got it. Sweden has their 7th world championship.
Edin with an absolutely perfect draw to win title number 7 as Guju and Team Canada come up just short. A 4th silver for Guju at the Worlds, 6-5 the final.
We fought, we made a lot of shots. We forced them to play a very, very difficult shot. I think that's a shot that, you probably miss more than you make, to be honest, but credit to him, he made a great shot, and no better way for him to win a world championship, but it kind of sucks for us. For the 4th time, silver sucks. But you know what, to be 2nd in the world, we have to be proud of what we did, but it's just disappointing now. There's 4 in a row for me, and I'm sure at some point down the road, I'll appreciate it more than I do right now, but right now, yeah, it's tough to take.
Over to the Diamond, the Toronto Blue Jays are attempting to go 500 on the road before they head back for their home opener Monday. To be fair, with how their schedule kicked off, 500 may be something to be proud of. They split their opener against the Rays at the Trop, grabbed a win against the Houston Astros, and took Game 1 of the series against the New York Yankees. Angel Hernandez behind the plate in this one, and boy oh boy was it noticeable. Bowden Francis pitching to Gleyber Torres, appears to step off the rubber. Torres acknowledges and moves. Pitch still comes in. It's way high, but what? Strike 3 called. Torres arguing that. Francis stepped off. You see here clearly. Francis moves his foot. He notices too, but still throws with Torres stepping out. Skipper Aaron Boone exchanging pleasantries. Oh, it's good to have you back, Angel. We missed you. Game tied at 1's in the 3rd, and it's bases juiced for Giancarlo Stanton. Pimped it. Watches it fly off Francis. His 3rd homer of the season. Francis through 2 games so far. Yikes. ERA of 13. Not pretty. Yankees jump out quick, 5-1. Bottom 6 now. Tim Meza on the mound, and this pitch comes in and smacks the strike zone. But Angel not signaling a strike. Kirk and Meza kind of just stop. Maybe a makeup pitch for the 1 in the 1st. Don't care, Angel. We love ya. Jays get lit up again. 8 or more runs in the past 2 games. They lose this one 8-3 and head home with a 4-6 record. Hopefully that Toronto air has a little something different in it for the Blue Jays, because 4-6 before your home opener, not too great.
It's not too great, but the baseball season's a marathon. I don't
Yep.
think there's any reason for Jays fans to get nervous yet.
I guess, yeah. It's still 100 and some odd games to go, so they have time to figure it out, but right now, not looking too pretty.
Yeah, but speaking of their home opener tomorrow, the Dome will likely be closed because of the chance of showers, and those showers will also be coming to Thunder Bay all week long. We'll have your full weekly forecast coming up after the break.